The Greek god of pain, Algea, is an often overlooked figure in Greek mythology. Despite being mentioned by Hesiod as the personification of pain, both physical and mental, Algea is not as well known as some of the other gods and goddesses of Greek mythology. However, their role as the bringers of weeping and tears is an important one, as pain and suffering are universal experiences that have been a part of human existence since the beginning of time. In Greek mythology, the concept of personifying abstract ideas and emotions was not uncommon. The Algea were the personification of pain in all its forms, from the physical pain of injury or illness to the emotional pain of grief and heartache. They were often depicted as sorrowful figures, draped in flowing robes and surrounded by the symbols of their domain: tears, weeping, and suffering. The Algea were believed to be the daughters of the primordial goddess Nyx, who was the personification of the night, and the god Erebos, who was the personification of darkness. This lineage connects them to the darker, more primal aspects of the world, as pain and suffering are often associated with the darker side of human existence. In Greek mythology, pain and suffering were not just abstract concepts, but were often seen as the result of the actions of the gods and goddesses. The Algea were seen as the agents through which the gods and goddesses inflicted pain and suffering on mortals, whether as punishment for transgressions or simply as a part of the natural order of the world. One of the most famous stories involving the Algea is the myth of Prometheus, the titan who stole fire from the gods and gave it to humanity. As punishment for his defiance, Zeus, the king of the gods, ordered that Prometheus be chained to a rock and that an eagle would eat his liver every day, only for it to regenerate and be eaten again the next day. The Algea were said to be the ones who brought the pain and suffering to Prometheus, making them an integral part of this well-known myth. In addition to their role in inflicting pain and suffering, the Algea were also believed to be the ones who soothed and healed those who were in pain. In some versions of Greek mythology, they were seen as the sisters of the goddess Algea, who was the personification of health and cleanliness, and they worked together to alleviate the suffering of mortals. Despite their important role in Greek mythology, the Algea have not been as widely celebrated as some of the other gods and goddesses. This may be due in part to the uncomfortable nature of their domain, as pain and suffering are not typically topics that people like to dwell on. However, their presence in the mythology of ancient Greece serves as a reminder that pain and suffering have always been a part of the human experience, and that finding ways to cope with and alleviate these feelings is an essential part of being human. In conclusion, the Greek god of pain, Algea, may not be as well known as some of the other figures in Greek mythology, but their role as the personification of pain, both physical and mental, is an important one. As the bringers of weeping and tears, the Algea played a crucial role in inflicting and alleviating the pain and suffering of mortals in ancient Greece. Despite the discomfort that comes with their domain, the Algea serve as a reminder of the universal nature of pain and suffering, and the importance of finding ways to cope with and heal from these experiences.